We are live. A few technical difficulties tried to make that not happen, but we are here just a few minutes late. Thanks for waiting. It's so nice to virtually be with everyone here today. I hope your week so far has just been beyond great. I also hope that it only gets better. My name is Carl Peterson. I'm Credit Suite's content and social media lead. And just like I said, we are live. So please, in chat, tell me where you're watching from, wherever in the world, and also give me your business name. Also, I have it pulled up on the screen, ready to give some shout outs. If you're watching me for the first time on one of these streams, or if you've been, you know, a weekly viewer, something you need to know right away is these shout outs are one of my favorite parts of doing these. I just love knowing where everybody's from and all the cool stuff you guys are doing. So don't be a stranger. Along with that, right this very second, this is a live stream. So if you say something in chat, anything at all during our time together today, I will do my best to respond to it. I also want to make sure that our time together is valuable to you. So along with this information I'll be giving you today about debt and how to manage it wisely and everything we discuss, I also have a QR code on screen next to my head, and it can very easily be scanned if you're watching on TV or desktop or another device. And you can, very quickly just scan that and directly go to it. And I also have a link below me as well that is the exact same location. This is a 100% free consultation with our team. If you need help getting funding for your business, I highly suggest you reach out to us directly to speed that process up and to also make sure that you do everything not only quickly, but correctly. It saves a lot of time later on as well. So these two things will be up the entire stream, the QR code. I don't know if it's this way or this way on your screen, but it's the QR code and then the link below. And feel free to click that at any time. Let me catch up in chat already. Nice to see some people. Hank over on YouTube coming over. Ultimate Alloy Repair in Jacksonville, Florida. That's a super cool business and a really great place, Hank. Nice to have you. Looks like Ronald in NYO coming over from YouTube. My credit score is 730. I am doing DoorDash. Can I get a loan? Ronald, that is a great question. So 730, awesome credit score. There's a lot of factors that go into that answer, of course, other than just credit score. But I will say two things, which is one, phenomenal thinking about getting, getting a business line of credit while doing DoorDash. So great. Independent contractors can absolutely take advantage of business lines of credit. And then the second thing is, like I said, a lot goes into that answer. Can you get a loan? I don't know because, it's based off credit score alone. Sounds like you're on the right pace, but there's a lot of things that go into that. So you got to make sure that you click the QR code or, scan the QR code or go to the link on the screen below me, and we can give you a little bit more of a better answer than we can do over live stream. But nice to have you here. Absolutely. Premium coaching for new tax pros. Thomas, you're in almost every one of our streams. It's so nice to have you here. Thomas G. Ledford Incorporated from Illinois, partner with Credit Suite Tier 2 coming soon. Woo, that is worth celebrating. So nice to have you here. If you're just coming in, it's never too late to drop where you're at or what your business is, or even what you want it to be. You make sure to drop that in chat and I'll do my best to keep up. Ronald, absolutely. You're very welcome for that answer. Like I said, many factors. I'm sorry, I can't give a direct yes or a direct no. That's just the facts. A lot of answers. So today's topic is how to manage debt wisely. I think it is incredibly important to mention that any sort of negative feelings you may automatically have towards the word debt, even if understandable, it's not always warranted for every case. Excuse me. Especially as a business owner. From the consumer side of things, debt means you owe something, right? That's what debt means. But from a business side of things, it's debt. The word debt means you owe something, but, and this is a very big but attached to this sentence, you may have direct benefits directly attached to it, right? And this is just business line 101, business lines of credit 101. So where on paper your business may owe something, yeah, but when it's done correctly, whatever this line of credit is is for could be 10xing your monthly revenue streams. Perfect example of this is using business credit to open a second location. Sure, you may owe, and if you're just listening, I'm air quoting the word owe, $70,000, but that also means that you just resulted, it just resulted in you turning around and making an extra $100,000 a year with a new location. Of course, this is all just napkin math, but the concept isn't far fetched at all. Another reason why you should wipe away any sort of negative feelings when it comes to the word debt is because of Apple and Google and Walmart and Amazon and Meta and this and this and this and that and that and that and everything that kind of falls into these mega businesses, right? You might be asking, what does that have to do with debt? And what does that have to do with me? And that's a fair question to ask, right? And the answer is actually a lot simpler than you would probably imagine. These are all household named businesses that are statistically some of the most in debt companies to ever exist of all time. And it's because these companies understand that using business lines of credit to directly fuel growth can leave their cash flow completely untapped, which in turn makes them the giant empires they are today. And the exact same thing applies to you or can apply to you, just at a different scale, right? So even if, this isn't talking exactly about how to manage debt wisely like today's topic, I had to mention this before truly diving in because along the same topic and also just mentally worth having as a business owner. So I'll be touching on that again near the end of the stream. So all that to say, there's good debt and there's a bad type of debt. And that was obviously discussing the good type of debt to have. But what if you do have the bad debt? Bad debt is a piece of multiple pieces of debt that you owe, something like unrealistically high interest rates or non-productive expenses, meaning expenses that don't directly feed back into the business as a whole, long term or short term. Speaking of short term, a bad debt is also something that is a short term financing for long term assets, right? That's debt that has you over leveraging or just poor investment decisions. This is all examples of the word bad debt. This is debt that works against you and hardly ever works for you, or it takes way too long to work for you. This is the type of debt that closes businesses' doors forever. So I can't talk about how great good debt might be without also acknowledging how terrible bad debt is as well. But there is absolutely a light at the end of the tunnel. Here's that end of the light tunnel takeaway, which is knowing in most cases that bad debt is absolutely still manageable. Of course, every single business is drastically different, but here are just a few ideas you could possibly use when it comes to managing this. Before we actually dive into this on how to manage debt wisely, I want to catch up in chat really quick. Hank, nice to see you coming over from YouTube. 13 years in business, 600,000 in revenue. Wife and I have 700 plus score. Interested in getting line of credit to purchase land and build a shop. Am I in the right place? Hank, you've never been in the more perfect place in your life potentially. To answer your question, yes. First off, 13 years in business, massive congratulations. Second off, 600,000 in revenue, massive congratulations. 700 plus credit score for your wife and you, massive congratulations. And then the last massive congratulations is being in the right place at the right time. Hank, I need you to scan the QR code, whatever site it's on for you. Should be over here somewhere. Scan that QR code if you're on a television or whatever, an external device. If you're watching on your phone, you got to go to this link below me, creditsuite.com/consult. We'd love to talk to you. Corey, hey, thanks so much for the information. You guys are awesome. Corey, you are awesome. Nice to have you here. Mike South, hello from STL. Mike, you are always in these streams. Also, along with Thomas, nice to have you back. Again, if you're just tuning in, say hi in chat. This is live at this very second. So if you Hank driving, no worries at all. You can go back to this stream and get that link whenever you're done driving. The link will be right below my head, but we we look forward to talking to you for sure. Um, yeah. So if you're just tuning in though, make sure you drop in, chat your business or where you're at. It's one of my favorite parts of the stream. So not too late to do that. But actually, perfect timing because we are just now diving into the actual dirt of how to manage debt wisely. So first step is creating a detailed budget. And look, I get that it seems self-explanatory, but you don't know a lot of answers or direction until you have it all laid out in front of you. So, yes, I totally agree. We're on the same page that it seems silly to even mention something like this, but sometimes the smallest and the silliest things are the key to getting to that next step or overcoming whatever you might be going through. So, you need to figure out areas of where you can cut cost. This not only helps you save money in the long run, obviously, but it can also open up way more opportunities to pay this debt off. It's super easy to be paying for a monthly expense without even fully being aware that you're still paying for it or paying for something that you may not actually need as much as you may have a couple months ago, or whatever, may not be as exciting of a product as it used to be. So you're a business owner. It's easy for things to get lost if it's something small. It's easy for things to go, just kind of become a monthly expense without actually saying, whoa, wait a minute, what are we paying for? But creating a budget and actually diving into updated bookkeeping can definitely shine a light on this and can get you just one step closer to having this bad debt behind you. So again, on the surface, seems a little silly, seems a little self-explanatory, but it's an absolute must. And that's why it's number one. Joe coming over from YouTube. Nice to see you. Auto Care of Texas LLC, General Auto Repair in Austin, Texas startup phase. Nice to have you, Joe. Nice to have you here, Joe. Excuse me. It's the most Mondayest Tuesday ever. Nice to have you here, though. Next, you need to understand your debt. So knowing the details for each piece of debt that you owe can help you have a much better understanding into what path you actually need to be taking. So prioritize the debt based off interest rates and terms. And then you can just turn around and start hyper focusing on what's costing you the most today. And then obviously the faster you can pay these off means the faster you can turn around and pay off the smaller debt or the ones with the longer terms. I'm being very my hands are all over the place. I'm very look like I'm swimming. I'm definitely a hand talker. Anybody else a hand talker? I just can't help it. Which brings us definitely to the third tip, which is negotiating, right? So simply just ask for help with whoever you're borrowing from. And all it takes is a simple, hey, how could I get a lower interest rate? Or, hey, how can we set up an extended repayment term? Or, hey, what does a settlement look like? You'd be so surprised how often a lender is actually willing to work with you. They understand that things come up. They understand there's ebbs and flows in business. They understand that market changes and unexpected happens. You just simply have to ask sometimes. Now, this obviously doesn't only have the potential to help you now, it can also definitely help you down the road as well. And if you have a debt and pay it off with a lender, even if that debt is settled or new terms are worked out, that means that there is an established relationship there. So down the road, when things are okay to have, financial conversations again and looking for funding or lines of credit again, and you're past any kind of massive debt holding you back, it may be way easier to have these conversations with lenders and also even negotiate better terms at the start. So simply just ask. Hank, does being an LLC or a C corp matter when trying to get high lines of credit like 500,000 to 1 million? Hank, the very best way to answer that, I hate feeling like I'm dodging answers, but when it comes to funding, there is so many specific things that are required before an absolute yes or an absolute no happens. So does being an LLC restrict you from getting 500,000 in lines of credit? No. Does being a C corp restrict you from getting? No, but it also, there's a lot of things that are in play there. And honestly, I'm not trying to avoid the question or anything like that, but I'm telling you, it's hard to say a yes or no because a lot of factors go into that. So one LLC may not be able to get 5,000 in funding, and one may be able to get 500,000 like it's nothing. It just all depends on a million things that go into that question. So it depends on you and your business and the million little things that go into it. All good, brother. Thank you. Hank, thank you for understanding. There's a lot that goes into that question, though. Generally speaking, C Corps do have access to, higher funding because of certain things, but that doesn't mean necessarily that LLCs are restricted. An LLC can be getting those lines just the same. Just depends. Thanks for the question. And my fourth and final tip, I can't believe it's already a final tip. We blew through this, is absolutely one of the biggest. And it's to figure out how to use other financing to come out on top. What does that mean? Well, this is one of the biggest perks of having business lines of credit, right? If it's there next to you in a sidecar during every ebb and flow your business will naturally go through, and those ebbs and flows are absolutely unavoidable. And if you're smart enough to work around your bad debt by using good debt, then the likelihood of success is far far greater. Check this out. So using business credit can allow you to manage any sort of cash flow gaps you may be experiencing. So it may become a bit of a financial band-aid, if you will, while you tackle paying off the bad debt hovering over your business's head. And along with that, you can continue investing in your business, which in turn can boost your cash flow. You see how that works out? So in the left hand, you have a lump of bad debt that you need to pay off. And in the right hand, you have good debt, which can invest in marketing, such as ads, or you can invest in new technology, or you can make store improvements. Whatever that thing is, using the good debt could allow you to get a boost in cash flow, which in turn can take some pressure off your back and off that focus of the bad debt. I started this stream off by saying two things. One was how the word debt isn't always bad. And I've definitely proven how that's possible time and time again over the last few minutes together. You can literally use good debt to outpace the bad debt. We just went over that, right? The second thing I said was how every business is different. I've said it to a couple comments. I've said it in my presentation. I can't say it enough because every single business is different. I'll give this one more time for you. And because the ways you can leverage debt or the ways you can manage your bad debt all comes down to those little fine, tiny little details that are unique to your exact situation. It's definitely, I can't stress that enough. And I say that because there's been a link below me and there's been a QR code beside me this entire screen. I'm also just going to drop the link right now in chat for you as well to click. Once again, that's creditsuite.com/consult. And so look, even though I'm grateful we've had some time together today, and even though I hope you walk away feeling like you used your time wisely being here, truthfully, this is just scratching the surface of scratching the surface, and every single business is drastically different. That's the last time I'm going to say it, I promise. There's experts at Credit Suite right now ready to speak with you, and then more than willing to actually dive into those little tiny details with you. Look, the world of funding is massive. So in order to save time, in order to save money, and even potentially even save your business, I highly encourage you to reach out for that absolutely free consultation. That simple decision could be the very thing that helps you conquer the bad debt and allows your business to thrive. Just like we've helped tens of thousands of other business owners who made that first move as well. So make sure you reach out. And with all of that, that concludes today's stream. Just a friendly reminder, make sure you like or subscribe on whatever platform you're watching this on right now. We post content daily and have these streams twice a week. And you can always go back and watch this stream in the entirety just a few minutes after I go offline. And we look forward to seeing you again this Thursday, same time, same place. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you again